I've made a mess. Let's get started. What's up guys, welcome to part 2 of my upgrade series. In this video I'm going to be unboxing the Gigabyte motherboard and getting it ready for installation into the case. But before I do that, I wanted to show you this. So everything that's on this table was inside my case. The case that I have for my computer is a Corsair 600T. It's the special edition white version. And it's a really good case because it lets you do stuff like this. So I've got removable drive cages and filters and other stuff that I can take out. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a nice good cleaning and get it ready for all the new stuff that I'm going to put in. Here's the Gigabyte Z87X-UD4H, the motherboard that I picked for this project. And I will show you what the inside looks like. Now this box up here has got the motherboard, and we'll put that aside for just a second. I think my bird likes the motherboard, which is probably a good sign. You do get just a handful of things in the box. So here's the SLI bridge. It's black, it's flexible, really nice. Here's a face shield, or the face plate for the back of the board, color coded, and you've got that silver or like foil backing on the back. You get 4 SATA connectors, which are going to be useful. A Gigabyte case badge. My bird really likes that. The CD with all your drivers, a guidebook, and then a guidebook that's in multiple languages. Now, every motherboard unboxing video that I've ever seen, or pretty much most of them, they all say throw this out and download the latest from the internet. The problem with that is if you don't have another computer to download stuff from, that could be a problem. So hang on to this at least for, you might need the network drivers that are on here, at least to do the basics. And some of these have some useful utilities and that kind of stuff. So I don't ever chuck it, I just leave it in the box in case I need it. Here's the motherboard outside of the anti-static bag, and it's just sitting on the box. I can show you what it looks like. Overall, it's a very clean, really good looking board. It's a matte black PCB, really nice red and black accents and silver accents on it. And for this build, I've actually decided that I wanted to see if I can't make a red and black themed insides. In my last build, I had an Asus board, which I liked a lot, but I really was more concerned about building a solid performer as opposed to like a good looking machine, if that makes any sense. But this time around, I wanted to kind of step it up a little bit and make something that also looks good, but performs just as well. Now, I would have went with an Asus board, but I cannot stand those gold heat sinks and gold accents on it. I just think it looks horrible. So a couple of things. I will leave a link in the description below to a couple of videos that do a lot better overview on some of the more technical things about the board, performance numbers and that kind of thing. For me, what I did like about it, a couple of things I wanted to point out. So you do get 2 USB 3.0 headers, so one here and one here. What's nice about this guy is that this is like a powered USB or like a high charge USB port. So you can charge tablets and phones off of this USB plug, which is really nice because I have a lot of those kind of devices laying around. You have an on-off button, which is useful because I will be setting this up outside of the case before I put it in, just to make sure that it works. Nice heat pipe cooling, and you just have your standard complement of ports. You have a bunch of SATA 6 gig ports, 7-segment display for debug codes. I guess I can show you the back. Now on the back, you have PS2 if you care about that. You have 6 USB 3.0 ports, 2 eSATA, VGA, DVI, HDMI, and DisplayPort. You also get one of these little Toslink audio ports, Intel Gigabit NIC, and 7.1 surround sound audio. Here's a CPU that's going in that Gigabyte board. This is the Intel Core i7-4770k. This is the unlocked Haswell processor that fits in the LGA 1150 chipset. It's rated at 3.5 gigahertz, 8 meg cache. Really nice. I cut this open outside the video so you guys didn't have to see me slice my hands open. You get some paperwork in here. So some McAfee stuff, I guess I get, which I probably won't use. You get a little guidebook and a case badge if you want that. In here, you get one of these crappy Intel fans, which I just hate. I haven't had good experience with these in the past, but I might have to use it temporarily, and I'll explain to you why in a second. And then the actual CPU, which comes out like this. i7, really nice processor, 4-core multi-threaded CPU, which I'm going to make use of because I'm going to be doing a lot of multi-threaded heavy applications, namely video editing. But I also do some software development and that kind of stuff. Gaming, I will do, but I really cared about the hyper-threading and the multi-threaded performance of the CPU. That's why I went with this guy. Now, the CPU cooler I might have to use because I want to set this all up outside the case, and I don't want to try and hook up the Corsair water cooler that I'm going to be using for this. I might just use this out of the box for that. So I mentioned that Corsair water cooler. I will be overclocking this, and I'm hoping that I won the silicon lottery, as people are saying. Out of the box, it's 3.5 gigahertz. I've seen people overclock this and get straight and solid performance at like 4.8, 4.9 gigahertz. But I've also seen people not get much more than 4.2 gigahertz. So I'm aiming on the low end, 4.2. If I can go higher than that, I will. But that's sort of the things that you run into when you do some overclocking. Last thing that we need for the motherboard setup is memory. This is actually memory that I pulled out of my old computer. This is 16 gigs of GSkill Ripjaws memory. This is DDR3, rated at 1866 megahertz for the speed, and it works great. I'm continuing to use this. It's going to look really good with the red and the black on the board, and it's just one of those pieces that I future-proof myself a little bit with. Now, I probably won't be able to use this in the next build after this one a couple years from now, but these will work out just fine. Memory prices today seem to be really, really expensive, so I think I saved myself a lot of money in buying these when they were relatively cheap a couple years ago. Installing the processor is a relatively easy affair. You just want to make sure a couple of things before you start mucking around here. Right here on the corner, there's a little triangle, and then underneath that there's actually another one that corresponds to the CPU, and the CPU has a little triangle right there. So you want to make sure that when you install the processor that golden triangle matches the triangle that's there. So on this case, what you want to do, you want to press down on this lever and then pull it back, and then that just comes up. That lifts out like this, and then you're in there. So again, you want to line up this triangle with the matching triangle that is on the board, and I can't see it from this angle, but you know, we saw from here that little triangle there, so that's one of your indicators. And then this is notched up here on the top to make sure that it goes in the right way. So then all you got to do is just drop it in there, and that's it. You don't have to press down, you don't have to do anything else. Just make sure it's seated right. This top goes down, and then there's a little screw over here, and then a catch. And then just make sure that this is sliding underneath there. And then as you push this lever down, it's going to slide back and then underneath where we took it out. It takes a little bit of pressure to do so, but you're not going to break anything so long as you made sure that the CPU is in there correct. So again, this comes down, over, and under. And then you notice that this pops out. Now you want to hang on to this because if you have to return the motherboard for any reason, you're going to have to put this back on there. But you can see that the chip is installed. Installing the memory is next, and this might be, and probably is, a lot easier than the CPU. So memory's got a notch on the bottom, and that will line up with the little breakout or the notch here on each of the RAM slots. So in this case, you can see the notch lines up with the little indentation. The two different colors on the motherboard indicate the slots that you want to use if you're only using 2 pieces of RAM. So if I only had 2 sticks, I would pick either both the black or both the gray, but you'll have to take a look at the instructions to tell you which ones to use if you're going to do it that way. But in my case, because I'm filling all 4, I don't need to worry about it. So the levers on the side open up, and I'm going to open up all of them. Some motherboards have only one side that flips open and the other side would be static, but in my case they both open. Take the memory, line it up, and then the memory sits in the slot like that. And all you have to do is just press down until you hear the click. And that's it. Do it 3 more times and you're done. Board's starting to look really nice. I think the red heat sinks on the memory and just the red accents on the board, I think it just looks great. Now, I'm going to have to make it look ugly when I put the CPU cooler in, but that's temporary while I just do a test. Now, I have all 4 slots filled, and I considered getting 16 gigs but 2 8 gig sticks so that I had some extra space if I wanted to use 32 gig total. I'm going to hold off on that for now. If I ever do decide to do that, I'll take this out and use it for a future project. I'll probably put it in my wife's computer. And the reason why I think about doing that is I could use some software to make some processing even faster for my computer, like using a RAM disk or something along those lines. 16 gigs is going to be good for now, but that might be something I'll consider in the future. The cooler is installed temporarily. I need to take this down to the workbench so that I can plug it into a monitor and just make sure that it boots up properly. Progress is going really great. I can't wait to get the next part out for you guys. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. So like and subscribe, helps me out a ton. And check out the description below for everywhere that I'm at. And follow me there. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.